Pride versus humility. For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. What is valuable about me? That's a difficult question to answer. If I say a lot proud position, I acknowledge that everything I have achieved by myself. What if I say a lot because Elohim considers me his son? If I say nothing, humble position, I acknowledge that everything I am have comes from Elohim. What if I say nothing because I lack self-esteem? Examples of pride: Lucifer, the disciples of Yeshua. Examples of humility: the tax collector, Moses, Yeshua, the perfect example. Examples of pride: Lucifer, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father but is of the world. If we speak of pride, we must speak of the one in whom this feeling first arose, Lucifer. He decided not to be content with his position, but wanted to ascend to a higher one. In time, he desired to be exalted that he longed to occupy the very throne of Elohim. We have inherited the desire to do whatever pleases us, to possess whatever we want, and to gain positions that allow us to acquire fame or wealth. That is what the world offers us. But not all aspiration is pride. The dissatisfaction derived from a child's success or personal ambition is not necessarily unhealthy pride. The important thing to remember is that our possessions, skills, and achievements do not determine our worth. Pride consists of not giving Elohim the glory for what he does in our lives. The disciples of Yeshua. Now there was also a dispute among them as to which of them should be considered the greatest. They had spent more than 3 years with Yeshua. He had just washed their feet and told them about his blood shed for all. Yet as they ate dinner, their conversation had nothing to do with this. Which of them was the greatest? Their pride led them to believe they deserved the top spot. They failed to grasp the gravity of their feelings. They were pushing Elohim away from their hearts because of their pride. Yeshua got straight to the point. I am among you as the one who serves. In other words, if you want to be great like your master, serve others. Our pride tells us that we deserve to be served by others. We are better than them. We need Elohim's grace to become humble servants. Examples of humility. The tax collector. In the tax collector, standing afar off, would not so much as raise his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, Elohim, be merciful to me, a sinner. A Pharisee was telling Elohim about the good works he did and the merits he had before heaven. But Yeshua said that he prayed to himself and not to Elohim, a perfect example of pride. A tax collector was asking Elohim for help, for he was a sinner. By humbly presenting himself before Elohim, he went down to his house justified, because for everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. True humility begins when we acknowledge our sin and ask for Christ's help. Then, we will not look upon others as inferior. We will not seek public recognition. We will let others give us the recognition. We will receive Elohim's grace. We will impart that grace to others. By faith, Moses, when he became of age, refused to be called the most son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Elohim than to enjoy the passing pleasures of sin. Moses was trained to be the next Pharaoh of Egypt. He was a great strategist and of great intellectual capacity. At the age of 40, he decided to put all this aside and join his people. He was the liberator. His mighty arm would free his brothers, a grave mistake. Elohim could not use him while he harbored such pride. He was Another 40 years in communion with Elohim in the desert made him a very humble man. Now he could be used by Elohim to send plagues, cross the sea, receive the Ten Commandments, speak directly with Elohim, strike the rock. He was even able to humbly accept the punishment for his act of pride, taking credit for what he did. The example of Moses shows us that humility does not arise spontaneously in us, but we must ask Elohim to imbue us with it every day. Yeshua, the perfect example. Yeshua, the perfect example. And being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, even even the death of the cross. No one in this world has ever had, nor will ever have, the greatness that Yeshua possessed before his incarnation. Yet he renounced everything out of love for us, faced with such humiliation. Everything we have, everything we are, or everything we could ever become pales in comparison. Yeshua renounced heaven to die for humanity in the hope that we would understand it, his act of grace, and respond to his invitation to a relationship with him. He is without a doubt the perfect example of humility. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Messiah Yeshua. Following his example, let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind. Let each esteem others better than himself. Let each of you look out not only for his own interests, but also for the interests of others. Lord, I will praise you, Lord, with all my heart before the gods. I will sing your praise. I will bow down toward your holy temple. I will praise your name for your unfailing love and your faithfulness. For you have so exalted your solemn decree, then that it surpasses your fame. When I called, you answered me. You greatly emboldened me. May all the kings of the earth praise you, Lord. When they hear what you have decreed, may they sing of the ways of the Lord. For the glory of the Lord is great. Though the Lord is exalted, he looks kindly on the lowly. Though lofty, he sees them from afar. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, you preserve my life. You stretch out your hand against the anger of my foes. With your right hand you save me. The Lord will vindicate me. Your love, Lord, endures forever. Do not abandon the works of your hands. In self-love, self-exaltation, and pride, there is great weakness. But in humility, there is great strength. Our true dignity is not maintained when we think most of ourselves, but when Elohim is in our thoughts and our hearts are all aglow with love to our Redeemer and love to our fellow men. Simplicity of character and lowliness of heart will give happiness, while self-conceit will bring discontent, repining, and continual disappointment. It is learning to think less of ourselves and more making others happy that will bring to us divine strength. Truth for the end times. Sabbath school lesson presentations, spiritual reflections, and sermons.